Hello and welcome to Let's Be Real Mama Journeys. I'm Nikki Brooker, the host of this podcast. And in our podcast, we like to explore motherhood in a way that is honest, real, and authentic. And today we don't have a mama, but we have a dad. And so we have Gerard Wouters. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Thank you for being here. He's actually dialing into our Zoom all the way from Holland.
Yep.
So I'm excited to talk to him because he's going to give us a different perspective, obviously, on parenthood. So tell us who you are, what you do, and all of that, Gerard.
Well, I'm Gerard Wouters, a Taoist therapist from Holland. I've been helping people for 28 years now how to make life happy, simple, and successful, which is the title of my book. And 98% of them are women. And a lot of them have children, of course, like I do. This is my little girl, beautiful little girl. She'll turn 7 coming Saturday.
Awesome. So
Yeah.
almost seven, and one and only?
Well, no, not really.
No.
No. In fact, I have two other ones, but unfortunately, I haven't seen them for 37 years.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. So this is the one you're raising and you're with, and and you live in Holland. Have you always been? Are you from Holland?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Awesome. And what did you do before you wrote a book?
Well, I've been a Taoist therapist for 28 years now, and
Okay.
before that, I was a financial interim manager.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so do you work mostly with who I don't know if in Europe you do the same as we do. We kind of have here in the US, people who work specifically with couples or specifically with kids or specifically with things. Are you like that or do you see all different clients?
No, not really. I have all kinds of clients, but in practice, 98% of them are women.
Okay.
And I'm not surprised because women are much more eager to tell and that they
Yep.
have an issue and they want to do something about it.
Yep. They sure
And
are.
always have to think they have the thing that they think they need to be strong, but they
Yep.
forget when you are vulnerable, you become invincible. It's
Yeah.
the way around.
That's a
Yeah.
good way to say it. Yeah. I like that. So tell me this. This is probably not something you thought we were going to talk about, but I want to know more about therapy in Europe. Number one, are you a coverable, like, so for instance, for the United States, people have to have insurance or they pay themselves. So they pay money for it or they
Yeah.
have to go through insurance. How does it work in Europe?
Well, it works the same way, but there's one issue. I developed this treatment myself.
Okay.
It has been covered until 2009, but afterwards, from 1 January 2010, it's not covered anymore, and nobody can explain to me really why.
That's frustrating.
It is, yeah, yeah, it is. So,
Is it insurance? Is that what you guys call it there?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. Um, and tell me more about what you created, like so that you said that you created this kind of therapy. Tell me more about that.
I developed this kind of therapy after a 7 year training of a Taoist therapist, a Taoist monk.
Okay.
And funny thing, I met him at the business meeting. He was staring at me, which I found very annoying. But after the meeting was done, I walked up to him, and before I could say anything, he told me who I was, what my problems were, etc., etc. So I was completely flabbergasted. So I invited him to come to my home, and we talked some more. And in the end, he stayed with me for 5 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah, he stayed with me for 5 weeks, and in that 5 weeks, he really tested me, trying to find out if I had what it took to learn what he had to learn me. And after 5 weeks, he asked me if I wanted to learn this, And I said, you know what? You better believe it. Because 5 weeks I've seen so many crazy things that I could not get my head around at that moment. And now I do it myself.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you just invited this monk to come live with you for 5 weeks and teach
Well,
you
yeah.
his ways.
Oh, we had so much to talk about that I said, you know what? I have a spare room here. So, yeah, just land yourself up there and we'll see again tomorrow. And well, he stayed for 5 weeks.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's nothing. That's definitely taken a leap of faith.
Yeah, and
And
after
yeah.
5 weeks, went back and he went up and down for 7 years to train me. So he stayed for a few months and then went back again and then came back for months, etc., etc. And that's how we did it for 7 years. And after about 5 years or so, I said, you know what? I think this is so incredibly valuable. This should be an official treatment because it's such a shame and such a waste locking this up in a monastery. So if you're okay with it, I want to change it into an official and professional treatment. And he said, "Yeah, okay, well, no problem there. You're far enough and you know enough. But there's only one condition: you leave me out of it because I don't
Oh.
want to become a tourist attraction." And of course, I understood, so no problem there.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's fair. Okay. Is he still with us? Are you still in contact with him?
No, no.
No.
After 2002, we separated, and I haven't heard from him afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Um,
in the last 2 years, uh, he, uh, he he was present with a few treatments to find out if I did it because, according to his philosophy, and he was very pleased.
oh, good.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, what is your experience with young moms and children?
Well, I've been treating him for 28 years.
And tell me more about how you treat them.
Well, my treatment is three ways. I start with a form of ancient manual therapy because the experience teaches us that when somebody is closed physically, he's also closed mentally. And I don't want to talk to the wall, so this is where I start. I start with the body, opening up the body, so I can get in, and I don't need to 20 sessions to try and open her up. And afterwards, I work with EMDR and not with like computers like they do these days. I just start walking up and down. And with my voice, I address all kinds of frequencies.
Okay.
I do that by storytelling according to the Taoist philosophy. So I explain all kinds of life processes so people understand what unconscious learned behavior got them into all kinds of situations, and especially how to do it the other way around and make their life simple again. And there's a few core things that I teach or unlearn people because I unlearn. One of them is a lot of people, and in your country that would be no different. A lot of people have the feeling that they're not good enough.
Mm.
And when they're not good enough, they eagerly try to become good enough, which means that they start pushing their boundaries. And at one moment, their body says, okay, we're done. And that's a burnout.
Mm.
Another thing that I unlearn is fear.
Mm.
Fear we learned once ages ago when we were in the jungle. We lived in the jungle. And in that jungle, there were a lot of big animals that wanted us for breakfast. But I don't know I don't know in your country or in your city, but I don't see tigers, bears, or elephants in my streets anymore. Not,
Not anymore.
not even in my mind. So, I will immediately admit that everybody is teaching you fear, governments, and it's always something. If it's not a virus, it's terrorists, it's bombing, it's, you know what, climate change, you name it. But when you fear, you give the control and the power over your life to another. And that's not how it should be. You are the one that should be in control of your body, of your life. And when you fear, you don't. You have no control.
Mm,
Yeah. And another, the thing that creates fear is overthinking. Worrying all day. And thinking, our thought process was created for us to learn new things, to understand new things, and to control new things. But you know what? You only do that 1% a day. Do you think 24 minutes a day? I don't think so. And this is what I unlearn people. Worrying all day, fear, and the feeling that they're not good enough, because the feeling that they're not good enough is a signal they get from their surroundings. And the issue is, it's their problem and they project it on you. But that's not okay.
hmm.
You need to realize that you are valuable and that you have a place in this universe and you're good enough. Yeah. I mean, we can't always, everybody can't be Einstein or you know what, but that doesn't mean that you don't have any value. You know, if the cleaner doesn't clean, how do you think our city will look like? You
Right.
know, we
Right.
can't we can't all be professors or you know, everybody has his place and that's okay.
Yep.
The cleaner is not worth less than the professor at school, and the CEO in the business. Everybody has his place and his value.
I agree. I absolutely agree with you. It's funny. I went to a job interview years ago, and I said to them, I said, I believe that the janitor who empties the trash is just as important as the CEO, because without each part, this does not work, right? You all need the part. And he looked at me, and of course, the guy who was interviewing me was a CEO. I didn't get the job. I'm sure you're shocked, but he was like, "Oh, really? You feel that way?" I said, "Yes, because every human being has a place and we all are part of the puzzle. Without every piece of the puzzle doesn't work." And he didn't
Yeah.
like that answer. I did not get the job.
No, no, well, there's been a research recently that almost 50%, I hope I say it right, almost 60% of CEOs are psychopaths.
Well, I'm gonna let that just sit there because I don't think you're wrong. Uh-huh.
Well,
Uh,
I didn't do the research, yeah? So don't kill,
Right. I'm not, don't hurt the researcher. I'm just
don't kill the
yeah,
research.
right. So what are issues that your clients come up with? Like, do they come to you with specific needs, or is it just in general that you work through this?
Grief, finding the wrong partner, having children that won't listen to them. But the problem is they don't expect them to listen. That's where the issue comes up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, wrong friends, sometimes addiction. I don't get a lot of people who are addicted, but there are a few. Yeah, yeah. But it's fleeing, yeah. It's fear. Fear is fighting or fleeing. And
Mm,
but okay, because the problem is when you wake up, the problem is back again.
mm-hmm.
Solve it. So fleeing is useless. Alcohol, drugs, even sex, all addictions and it's all fleeing behavior, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But it's sometimes it's hard to get past those fears and or obviously addiction is a disease that is a whole nother ballgame, but it's hard when you are being bombarded by all of these outside, right? You've
Yep.
got social media, you've got the internet, you've got news, you've got just people in general. It's like there's so many things coming at you. How do
Yeah.
you get people to understand that all of that is noise and you
Yeah.
have to just let it be noise out there that doesn't come into you, right? How do you get people to do that?
Well, when you unlearn fear, um, something very funny happens. You are going to see what is behind all that. Yeah. And you're going to see that a lot of things that are told by the news, as example, are not correct. Are
Mm-hmm.
very. Let me give you one example.
Sure.
Years ago, with the COVID pandemic, but okay,
All the things. Uh-huh.
that's my opinion. Okay, okay.
Uh-huh.
Um, there was a guy who had a ship, a huge ship, a cruise ship, with 600 beds and all the staff that it was needed to take care of COVID patients. And they said no. Our government said no, we don't need it. But on the other hand, they spent 5 million euros on agents to find and to control if you have a QR code or not. But I thought, maybe I'm mistaken there, but didn't it go about health?
Right.
So you don't hire a ship with 600 beds and all the stuff you need to treat patients, but you are giving 5 million euros to officers to control QR codes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's strange, isn't it? And when you don't fear, you will notice these things. And the problem is with fear, when you fear something, you will automatically and unconsciously attract it. When you're
Mm.
spiders, you will see that your whole house is filled with spiders until you realize that a spider is only this big and is completely harmless. Yeah.
Yep.
When you really realize this, you step unconsciously over your fear and you will see that there's no spider anymore in your house because it's exactly the other way around. And that's exactly what I teach people. A lot of things and a lot of behavior that we have learned is completely the other way around. When you fear, you attract what you fear until you realize that it's useless. Your fear is not okay. Yeah, it's strange. Why should we fear a spider that's this big? I mean,
Right.
it's
Yep.
useless. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you stop fearing, you will see a lot more in your surroundings and you will see what is really going on and what is really happening in your life and in the world. And then you will see that a whole lot of things that are told, and we are bombarded with a lot of info, but you will find out that a lot of info is not correct.
Right. Right. That's that. And I think that's especially in 2025 when there's so much noise. There's so much noise.
Yeah.
Trying to disseminate what is actually real and what is a bunch of baloney is
Yeah.
exhausting, first of all, but also you're right. Like I've said, fear, that whole saying that the only thing to fear is fear itself, right? Because once you start fearing things, and I think honestly, fear comes from the unknown. When you don't understand something or you don't get it, you fear it. I think that's
Yeah.
human nature in a lot of ways. In that, well, if I don't understand, I'm afraid of it because I don't understand it. I'll give you an example of my biggest fear. My besides losing my children at a young age, or all of those things,
Yeah.
my
Right.
biggest fear is snakes. and has been my whole life. I have had a fear of snakes. And I went
Yeah.
to therapy. I did the whole therapy thing to try to get over my fear of snakes, and I'm much better than I was. But I don't understand how a snake moves because you don't have legs. And if you don't have legs, I don't believe you should be on the earth. And so the fear I have is honestly, and I don't understand, they make my skin crawl because they're gross. And when I was 16 years old, I found one under my pillow in my waterbed at my
Oh,
house. Yeah.
oh.
So there's a lot of history here with the snake thing. But I fear it because I don't understand it and I think they're gross, right? So
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think that's a lot of people, and my daughter has arachnophobia, terrible arachnophobia. And I,
wow.
you know, and I can say all day long, just squish it with your foot, just squish it with your foot. Like it's this big, right? Like you said, it's this big. And she's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, but you're bigger than a snake." And I'm like, "Okay, that's fair, but you know how a spider moves. I don't understand how a snake moves." So anyway, there you
Well,
go.
let me explain one thing.
Okay.
A snake is completely blind. A snake sees you as two trees. And if you don't move when a snake approaches you, nothing will happen because he's blind. He doesn't see you. He sees two trees, two
Huh.
stand trees.
Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, yeah. That's why he does with it, this thing with his tongue. He tastes his surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
he's blind. Snakes are completely blind.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
interesting. I did not know that.
yeah. Whoa.
Because if
And
I try to do research on snakes, pictures pop up and I don't want to look at a picture, so I don't want to
well,
research it.
when you're afraid of snakes, and I mean, I don't know if you have a lot of snakes out there.
We
I
have
don't.
a ton of snakes out here.
Yeah. Well,
In
you're in.
Colorado, they are, and I'm talking 5 foot bull snakes that are this big around. Like, I'm not talking small little gardener snakes. I'm talking about big ones.
Yeah. But you know what? There's a very good movie from our friend Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Plays in that movie with his real son, his real in life son.
Mm-hmm.
And the film is about fear. And I think you should watch it because I think you'll learn a lot from it.
I think I've seen, what is it? Do you know the name
After,
of it? What's it called?
it's called After Earth.
Oh, maybe I haven't watched that one.
In this film, he says something very good and absolutely 100% accurate. He says danger is a reality, but fear is a choice.
Mm,
He's absolutely right. And I think you should watch the film because you'll learn a lot from it. Yeah.
awesome. Well, thank
Because
you.
the film is about fear.
Okay.
The film is about uh, humanity is not on Earth anymore because Earth was destroyed
Mm,
somehow. Don't ask me how because the film doesn't even explain that. But the Earth was destroyed and Earth was populated with all kinds of horrible creatures that respond to fear. So when you fear, they can see you. If you don't fear, they're
ah,
blind. And that's the issue in the film. So their plane their spaceship crashes on the Earth, and they find out to their big surprise that there's a lot of animals out there. And in this spaceship, they had one of those creatures that
mm,
responds to fear.
mm-hmm.
So the crash, the creature went out, escaped, and the son has to find that creature and kill it. Yeah, I think you'll really learn a lot from watching that film.
Yeah, I should. I think you're
So
right.
After Earth, that's a really good film.
Okay. I will check it out.
Yeah.
What benefit can people get from your book?
Well, in the book I explain a lot of life processes and how silly a lot of things that we have learned, how a lot of behavior we learned, are in these days. Because a lot of things that we learn on a daily basis are not accurate anymore in this time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I started writing the book in Dutch because I already published it in Dutch, and the English version is on Amazon at this moment, as we speak.
Okay.
I wrote the book uh, um, after a lot of my ex-client asked me, I'm so excited about what you told me and what you explained during sessions, but I can't reproduce it because what I tell people immediately it gets into your unconsciousness.
Mm.
After you walk out the door, you think you forgot everything, but you didn't because it's in your unconsciousness, and that's where the transformations is. But yeah, that was an issue for a lot of clients. They wanted to reproduce it and share it with their surroundings. And so they asked me, could you put it in writing? Because, I can't reproduce what you told me. And I'm very excited about what you told me. But yeah, so I decided to write a book.
Awesome.
And I wrote it in a few days because, yeah, I write days. It's a bit of a talent, I think. And it's often really strange because I'm dyslexic. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so what I do actually is impossible to the to the average dyslexic, but yeah, I proved that it can. Like I told one of your colleagues a few weeks ago. There's a Chinese verb that says something is impossible until somebody just does it.
Uh-huh. That's true. So true.
That's how it works. Yeah.
That's how it works. How can they find your book? The title of your book again. Tell me how the title.
The title is How to Make Life Happy, Simple, and Successful, or Simple, Happy, and Successful the Taoist Way. And the subtitle is An Introduction to a New Way of Living. And that's exactly what I do. And one of the important things I put in the book is about setbacks. I know everybody has setbacks, but what people don't realize is that the setback is a message from the universe telling you
Mm.
something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you an example. When you have a friend that you had an argument with a few months ago, and one moment you decide, you know what, forget about the argument and let's meet again. So you call this person, you make an appointment for a few days afterwards, and after a few days, you drive up to her in your car, and on your way to her, you get a flat. That's a setback, and that's a signal. Now, there's two things that you can do. Either you can repair or replace your tire and still go to that girlfriend, and I will guarantee you that you will not have a good day. Something else would happen. Yeah, a
Mm-hmm.
hundred. But what I teach people is that you can turn around and walk away too. And what do I mean with turn around and walking away? Well, you call this friend and say, you know what? I'm have a flat and an incredible, horrible mood. So you understand that I don't want to come anymore. But you know what? Maybe you can call me in a few days and we make a new appointment. Now, there's two things that can happen. Either you won't hear from this person for 5 weeks, and when you don't hear from this person for 5 weeks, you know that this is not a friend. Because a real friend will call you the same day or the day after. And the funny thing is that you create respect this way. You make your
Mm.
life a lot simpler, much clearer, because you immediately know if this is friend or not, and
Yep.
you respect. So the setback is just nothing else but a message, and when you know how to decipher this, like I just did, uh, it becomes something that you can work with,
Yep.
make other choices.
Yep.
A donkey doesn't kick his head twice to the same stone, and we shouldn't either. Yeah, so
Yep.
setback is very important to realize it's a message and to know how to decipher this message. And how do you decipher the setback? See what is happening and see what the situations that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Like with the flat, realize that you are on your way to somebody who made an argument with you, and 100% that the other one is the one who caused it. So at that moment, it's not the right time and place to go to him. So you get stopped. And that's how you decipher them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an incredible tool that when you use it, your life becomes so much simpler because you will understand much more about the setbacks you encounter. You can realize the message that they're giving you. And when you realize the message that you're give you, you can do a lot of things the other way around. And your life
Yeah,
becomes much simpler.
right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm glad that we made time for this. What time is it there in Holland right now?
It's 1814. It's
So
6:14.
6:14 in the evening, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning here, so you're 8 hours ahead. Awesome. Well, thank you for making that this happen. Thank you for being here. You have great insight on how to help people with their needs and their fears, and I really appreciate you sharing with us.
Well, thanks for inviting me. And I'd love to come to your country and help a lot of people with mental issues because I read on the internet that you have 54 million adults in America that suffer from depression.
Mm-hmm.
63% of employees suffer from burnout.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody is not doing their job.
No kidding. We got a problem here. We certainly do have a problem here. I don't disagree with you there.
I can help them heal in a 2-day workshop.
Ugh,
And I've been doing it for 28 years, so I'm not bluffing.
I'm not bluffing. I love that. Well, thank you for not bluffing. Thank you for sharing with us. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
You bet. And we'll see you next time on Let's Be Real Mama Journeys.